Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving right into something that might sound a little dry at first, Colorado Senate Bill 26189. But trust me, it's an absolute game changer. We are going to unpack exactly how this brand new legal framework impacts you, the consumer, especially when automated systems and algorithms are quietly making massive, life-changing decisions about your future. So think about it for a second. What actually happens when a piece of code decides your future? As artificial intelligence becomes this invisible gatekeeper for loans, jobs, healthcare, and housing, the state of Colorado is taking some really major legislative action. They're stepping up to make sure these digital decisions don't just operate entirely in the shadows. Right off the bat, here's our source material. This is the official act itself. It's a massive, sweeping piece of legislation strictly concerning the use of automated decision-making technology in consequential decisions. We're going to rely entirely on what is written inside this document to understand your new rights. To keep things simple, we'll break this explainer down into 5 parts. First, the invisible AI gatekeepers. Second, defining consequential decisions. Third, your right to human review. Fourth, out-of-state discrimination limits. And fifth, how the rules are actually enforced. Let's get into it. Starting with part 1, the invisible AI gatekeepers, or what exactly is ADMT? The law officially labels these gatekeepers as Automated Decision-Making Technology, or ADMT for short. Basically, we're talking about technology that gobbles up your personal data, crunches the numbers, and spits out an output. We mean predictions, recommendations, rankings, or scores that are used to make or guide a real judgment about you. Simply put, if a system is churning through your data to score you, it's ADMT. But, and this is totally crucial, lawmakers were very careful to draw a line here. If you look at the exemptions in the text, AMT does not include everyday tech. Your basic calculators, antivirus software, spam filters, or standard spreadsheets that require a human to manually analyze them, they're totally exempt. The law is targeting complex, automated judgments. Moving to part 2, defining consequential decisions and the actual scope of the law. So, when does the law actually care about this tech? Well, it strictly regulates what it calls consequential decisions. We're talking about the big stuff that materially impacts your life. Getting hired for a job, securing an apartment, getting approved for a mortgage, healthcare access, insurance pricing, and college admissions. On the flip side, it completely ignores the low-stakes stuff, like routine scheduling, customer service routing, or targeted ads. It's strictly about the heavy hitters. Part 3, your right to human review. Let's look at your brand new consumer toolkit. Now, what happens if an algorithm actually hurts you? The law calls this an adverse outcome. In plain English, that means the AI outright denied your application, cut off a service, or just gave you a really raw deal. For example, if an AI approves you for a loan but fundamentally alters your pricing, like slapping you with a way higher interest rate than someone in your exact same situation, that is an adverse outcome. If that happens, you now have a real toolkit to fight back. First, the business using the AI, which the bill calls the deployer, has to send you a plain language notice within 30 days of the decision. No legal jargon, just the facts. Then, you have the right to request a correction if the AI based its decision on bad data. And finally, they have to give you an opportunity for meaningful human review and a real reconsideration. I really want to zoom in on that phrase, meaningful human review. As the text stresses, this absolutely cannot just be a rubber stamp. The human reviewer actually has to be trained. They can't just blindly agree with whatever the system spit out. And, this is the best part, they must have the actual, real authority to override the computer's decision. Part 4, out-of-state discrimination limits. This is really about protecting Colorado residents across borders. This is where things get super interesting, especially for our main focus today. What if the organization using the AI to discriminate against you isn't even located in Colorado? Well, the text tackles this head-on. Out-of-state companies are bound by the law if they hit a few criteria. First, they have to be doing business in Colorado. And second, the consumer definition explicitly includes any resident whose access to an opportunity inside Colorado is being evaluated by the AI. To put that plainly, a company out in Silicon Valley or Wall Street literally cannot use geography as a shield. If you're a Coloradan applying for a job, a home, or a loan inside the state, and that out-of-state company uses an algorithm to evaluate and deny you, they are fully subject to all these notification rules, the human review requirements, and the anti-discrimination liabilities. Digital borders do not give them a free pass to discriminate against Coloradans. So when does this all kick in? You're going to want to mark your calendars for January 1st, 2027. That is when all of these consumer protections and specific obligations officially apply to consequential decisions.
Finally, Part 5, how the rules are enforced and exactly who holds them accountable. Because having rights on paper is great, but who is actually enforcing them? Well, it works on a dual track. For the new notification rules, like giving you that 30-day notice, the Colorado Attorney General is exclusively in charge, and they offer a 60-day window to fix the issue if possible. But if the AI decision results in flat-out unlawful discrimination, the bill completely preserves your right as an individual to sue under existing state civil rights laws. Your power to fight back in court is totally protected.
And here is a massive detail. If an out-of-state company or a local one actually discriminates against you using one of these tools, the law ensures the blame is shared fairly. In a lawsuit, fault is split between the deployer, the business using the tech, and the developer, the tech wizards who built it, based on their relative blame. If the AI was used exactly as intended and still discriminated, the developer is liable. If the business misused the tool against instructions, the deployer is on the hook. Plus, the bill completely shuts down a massive corporate loophole. Tech developers and businesses cannot just secretly sign private contracts to protect each other from this liability. The text explicitly says any contract trying to completely hold a developer or deployer harmless for their own acts of unlawful discrimination is contrary to public policy and legally void. You literally cannot contract your way out of consumer protection in Colorado. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder. We're seeing Colorado step up to protect its residents from invisible algorithmic bias, even when the companies pulling the strings are thousands of miles away. As AI becomes increasingly powerful and completely borderless, is this comprehensive framework the blueprint for how we're going to secure our consumer rights nationwide in the future? Thank you so much for joining this explainer.